Hi everyone. So this is going to be video number 2. My third video will be a haul, so we'll save the best for last. This video that I'm going to do right now is inspired by a fellow sister of mine. And a lot of people in the community assume that they know a person just by what they see on YouTube, what they see making a video. Yes, granted, that is how a person is, or how the person is, because that's them making the video. But don't go assuming that you know everything about this person, because chances are you really don't. So, with that being said, this video is going to be about me. All me. Because I don't want people to assume that they think that they know me. Because 90% of you probably don't. So, this is probably going to be a long video. If you don't want to know about me, then by all means, click off the video. I don't care. There are some out there that are interested. So I'm doing this for them. So, let's start off. I'm 31 years old. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I didn't have a great childhood. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best either. Mainly because of my dad's alcoholism. If you know somebody in your family that is affected by alcoholism, you know that it affects everybody. And to this day, my dad is still an alcoholic. But it was really rough for me growing up because I was an only child. I do have a brother, but he is deceased. He actually passed away before I was even born. I do see him. I do talk to him in my dreams and through well, I have an actual spirit board now, but I used to make my own, and I would talk to him through there. My brother is my spirit guide. Anyway, I grew up as an only child. When I was younger, my family was very close. Very close. Gatherings at Thanksgiving, Christmas, the traditional, family thing. But once my great-grandmother passed away, my family fell apart. And I don't know what hurt me more. Being around the family that I had, or losing the family that I had, because it was happening at the same time. When I was 9 years old, we moved to Indiana. And I've been in Indiana ever since. Moved around, of course, but I've always been in Indiana. I take that back. I was in Harrison, Ohio for maybe a year, but then we moved back to Indiana. I was bullied the entire time I was in school. I don't remember too much of elementary school because we moved in the transition from elementary school, so I really don't remember too much of my elementary school, but middle school and high school, middle school and high school, I was bullied A lot. A lot. For many different reasons. Weight, appearance. I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to fit in. And the class that I hated the most when I was in school was probably PE. And it was because I was so embarrassed of myself. I never blamed my mom or my dad for that, because it wasn't their fault. But I didn't like me. So I did everything I could to fit in. And my peers were just horrible, wretched people. Sorry. And it's hard to talk about now. I mean, it's just, they just bullied me so much. I didn't really have friends. I had one friend. And then when she found out I was a witch, I lost her. But I've gained many since then, but I've always been self-conscious about my appearance. Up until recently, of course, I don't care anymore, but I've got a wall around my heart now, I guess. But when I was in high school, freshman to be exact, I met my first husband. And oddly enough, his name was Brian as well. And I was with him my entire high school career. All 4 years of high school I was with him. And I thought at the time he was the best thing for me. He wasn't. On and off the 4 years that him and I were together, he cheated on me numerous times, but I always gave in and, took him back. And then even after I graduated high school, I married him. Biggest mistake of my life, but I didn't know that then. I married him. 2 weeks after we were married, he went and bought another girl an engagement ring. 2 weeks. I was so blinded. I'll be honest with you, I really thought that nobody other than him would want me. Nobody. And my biggest fear in life is being alone. It's my biggest fear, is being alone. And it took my current husband, Brian now, my current husband, to get me to realize and to get me to open my eyes to see what this man was doing to me. I refer to him as asshole now because that's exactly what he is. He's an asshole. The man I'm with now, he's amazing. Amazing. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever thought that I would find somebody like him. He is a good person. He's smart. He's intelligent. Same difference, same thing, isn't it? He's intelligent. He's funny. He's laid back. He listens to what I have to say. And then if he feels that, what I do is wrong, he'll tell me. He's an awesome father. My current husband and I met at our workplace. Well, I used to work there. Met at our workplace thanks to my mom and my mom's good friend. They kind of hooked us up, I guess, so to say. But one of my passions is singing. I love it. Singing and my religion are two of my biggest passions. And I would go on Saturday nights, me and my ex-husband would go to this karaoke bar. And that was a ritual for us. We would go every Saturday. And the awkward thing is then my current husband started going down too. I didn't know at the time that my mom and my mom's friend were trying to, work something, but I'm kind of glad that they did. Otherwise, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. But my husband and I got married in 2006. We got married in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I became a stepmom the day we got married to Alyssa. Alyssa is now 18 and a freshman in college down in Kentucky, majoring in biomedical science. I'm very proud of her. Very, very proud of her. She's not talking to me for reasons that I won't go into on here, but eventually I'm hoping she'll come around because she's not talking to her dad either. But anyway. In 2010, I had Brianna. November. And that was rough. Very rough. After Brianna was born, she was in the hospital, Children's Hospital, Cincinnati Children's Hospital, for 2 weeks. It was very rough. She's okay now. But it was just rough all around. So I found my path when I was 12 years old. The reason I say I found my path when I was 12 years old was because that's how old I was when my mom bought me my first book. Nowhere in my family are there any pagans or Wiccans. I am the first in my family. So I'm not full-blooded. It's not in my blood. However, I was dedicated. Nobody in my family knew I was Wiccan until this year. January 1st is when I came out of the proverbial broom closet. I came out on Facebook. I lost a lot of people because of that, but I gained a lot of people too. So it equaled out for me. The only one that knew the whole time was my mom. And my mom had always supported me. Like I said, she bought me my first book when I was 12. And you're probably thinking, well, why would you ask her? Well, when I was 12, is right about the time when I first saw the movie The Craft. And I loved that movie. Still do to this day. And I wanted to know more about being a witch. So my mom and I went to the mall one day, and we went into Barnes and Noble, I think. Hell, I don't remember. It's been too long ago. And she bought me my first book. My first book that I had ever had was Teen Witch by Silver Ravenwolf. She is my favorite author. Some of you probably don't like her. Some of you probably do. So when my mom got me that first book, I read it from, front to back. And I realized that what the movie was portraying was nothing like what, being a witch really was. But it felt right for me. So I continued on my path. And because of my family history, most of my family was Catholic. My grandma was Catholic. My great-grandmother was Catholic. My mom didn't go to church. She didn't consider herself Catholic. She really didn't consider herself Christian, but she wasn't atheist either. She believed. Let's just put it that way. And because of that, I had to do most everything visually in my third eye. Because I didn't want my dad to find out. Because my dad would have blown a gasket. And I didn't want that. So I had no herbs. I had no Book of Shadows. I had nothing. Everything was done via internet. If I needed to find a spell, or if I needed to find, some information on this and that, it was always done on the internet. Candles, I had candles in my room all the time. I was a candle fanatic, but so was my mom, so that helped out. But when it came to tools and herbs and anything like that, I didn't have any of it. Because I wasn't really ashamed of my religion, but I knew how misrepresented it is. People, well, I don't need to go into that. Those of you that are watching that are witches or Wiccan know what I'm talking about. So, up until this year, I had a few things. Very, very, very few things. But this year, when I came out of the, when I came out, I didn't care anymore. And that's when my whole sight just changed. I didn't care anymore. I started practicing my craft the way I've wanted to my whole life. Because I could. And I had the power to. I've only ever had one true deity in my life. And that's been Isis. She came to me when I was young, 12 or 13. Had no idea who she was. She came to me in a dream. Seen her in a dream. And all I seen was this lady with wings and a big thing on her head. That's what I thought when I first seen her. I'm like, who the hell is this person? So, I did my research, and I found out it was Isis. And she's been with me ever since. She's helped me through a lot in my life. I have a God. But in my practice, I don't call upon him as much as I do Isis. The only time I really call upon Osiris, and that's my god, the only time I really call upon Osiris is when I am desperate, in desperate need of help. And I ask them both to help me together. So, in my videos, I've taken them down now, but in some of my videos I've told you that, I've been a Wiccan for 20 years. I have been. I might not have practiced it the way you practice, or I might not practice the way a certain other person practices, but that doesn't mean that I'm not Wiccan. It doesn't mean that I'm not a witch. And I've said it time and time before, I know what I'm doing. If somebody asks me a question that I don't know anything about, I Google it. Because I want to learn too. And I would never, ever tell somebody something if I didn't know it was the truth. So yeah, just a little bit about me. I hope I didn't bore you too bad. Wow, 20-minute video. So, with that said, please don't assume that you know me, because there's still a lot that you don't know. But I'd be willing to tell you, but not publicly. So, if you've got questions, feel free to message me. I am part owner of a shop. I run a group on Facebook called Merry Meet, along with another person and soon to be a third person. So I'm quite active on Facebook. So feel free to ask questions. Hit me up on Facebook. Send friend requests. It's fine. I don't care. But don't assume that you know me. Please. Well, until next time, which will be here in just a second actually, because the next video will be a haul. Yay! So until next time, blessed be.